What's this thing? Whatever.
Craig's here.
Fuck you,
Hi,
Craig.
Craig. Go to hell, Craig.
Hey! Craig is responsible for our audios. Thank you very much.
He's the most important person in this fucking thing. We're all just like, fuck that guy in particular.
He's always
Not even a guy.
watching us. He's always like staring at me.
Fuck this
It
not a
computer,
guy.
this computer program that we're using to record ourselves
Terry.
voluntarily, by the way. Thank you.
Right? Craig's not getting paid for this shit.
Look at him though. You see the
Like
way
I said,
he
it's just the
stares?
beady eyes. Like it's the fucking wide ass eyes.
Why does
on
he
his
look
big
so
bare
nervous?
face. And those two little dots.
Yeah, but look, he's just got that flat line mouth too. Like
Exactly. I can't tell for 100% if he's just sitting there just doing, it's just doing that creepy stare, or if he's just sitting there listening to us like,
Like, yes, keep talking.
He's just the mic man for the studio. That's all Craig is. He's just trying to get off work for the day. Look at him. He's
Yeah, he's
just
like, dude, it's like, I didn't even want to come here today. It's like, come on. Can we just get this crap over with, please?
So,
So I can go find my hole and hibernate all winter.
knowing that
never.
we're all going to be busy probably next week. I want to talk
I
about
ain't.
this insider article titled Thanksgiving. It was written or updated on November 24th of 2020. And Thanksgiving in the U.S. is traditionally a time for family and food. American school children typically learn that the traditions date back to the Pilgrims who helped establish Plymouth Colony in 1620 in what is now Massachusetts. That's what we were taught when we were making little finger turkeys at school, right? As the story goes, friendly American Indian locals swooped in to teach the struggling colonists how to survive in what the Europeans called the New World. Then everyone got together to celebrate with a feast in 1621. Thanksgiving 2021 would mark the 400th anniversary of that first American Thanksgiving. But in reality, Thanksgiving feast predate Plymouth, and the feast celebrated that day was Tinius. The real story behind the holiday is so dark, in fact, that some people are rethinking how they celebrate the holiday, or whether they should at all.
I mean, as a fat man, I definitely enjoy the holiday.
Okay,
Like,
right. Well, no, I don't disagree. As a man of portion two, I enjoy the holiday. I have an 18-pound turkey to feed 9 grown people. There are some children.
See, I'll
that
make
are
an
going-
18-pound turkey, look at everybody else, and be like, so what are y'all bringing to eat?
Well, there's also going to be ham and potatoes and deviled eggs. Yeah, we're doing the whole thing. But wait for it. This article goes on to say this. The Plymouth Thanksgiving of 1621 wasn't the first. Settlers in Berkeley Hundred, in what is now Virginia, celebrated their arrival with a Thanksgiving as far back as 1619, according to National Geographic. The Washingtonian reported the meal was probably little more than some oysters and ham thrown together. Decades before that, Spanish settlers and members of the Seloy tribe broke bread in Florida with salted pork, garbanzo beans, and mass in 1565, according to the National Park Services. So, this holiday has a lot of different, around that same era, different people were doing this where they were feasting at this time of the year. Our modern day definition of Thanksgiving revolves around eating turkey, but this is more of an occasion for religious reverence in past centuries. The Pilgrims most likely considered their sober 1923 day of prayer the first actual Thanksgiving per the History of Massachusetts blog. Others pinpoint 1637 as the true origin of Thanksgiving, since the Massachusetts Bay Colony Governor John Winthrop declared a day to celebrate colonial soldiers who had just slaughtered hundreds of Pequot men, women, and children in what is now Mystic, Connecticut. Oh. So, Wait,
Damn it! Who
what?
brought the Templars? Oh,
I mean, okay. That got dark.
Real quick, I was about to say, like, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Okay, now here's the issue.
Well,
I,
that escalated quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
like, and then here
Congratulations,
they go.
guys. We found the problem. We did it. Everybody can stop looking. We fixed Thanksgiving.
That was
We
my
found the
point when
leak
I
in the
read-
pipes. Now we can work on putting fucking water seal on it.
They were like, "Hey, those Indians, they're kind of a problem. We should go over there and take care of that. What are we gonna do when we get back? We're gonna have dinner." I know that the people of indigenous and the settlers never really got along. It was never going to be a thing. And I have indigenous blood. Understand, like these things need to be told.
American and Sicilian bitches.
Let's say I believe everybody in this group has lineage toward that
Have
dates back to
indigenous blood.
indigenous.
Right.
Now, I will not say
Alright.
personally myself, to make this clear, I myself do have the lineage, but I myself do not partake in anything of it, so therefore I'm not my culture.
I don't either. I mean,
Also, can we just mention how the fact that like scalping is stereotypically a native thing, but it was started by the fucking like Europeans.
no, actually, it wasn't.
but
We can look this up to make sure that I'm right, but it was Scottish.
Isn't Scotland in
Trappers.
Europe?
Well, yeah, but they came here too. They were trappers. Well, they were used to pulling the. Hold on, think about this for a second. They were used to pulling the skins from their prey. So,
But also, like
was-
Native Americans, they believe their spirit is in their hair. So, like, the longer your hair is, the stronger your spirit. So, the worst thing you can do to a Native American warrior is fucking take that.
Hold on. So yeah. I mean, basically, the English and French were like, "Hey, we know that y'all's hair is sacred. That's why y'all wear it that way. So we'll pay you for the hair of your enemies." And they were
Right.
like, "Okay." So they just went and started cutting each other's hair.
Like, how come every time I Google like who invented X and X war crime, it always takes me back to the Europeans?
English and French, right?
God damn it,
Okay.
guys.
So peace didn't last. Massasoit, the Wampanoag paramount chief, allied with English settlers after Plymouth was established and fought with the newcomers against the French and other local tribes. But the alliance became strained over time. As thousands more English colonists moved to Plymouth, taking over more land, authorities started control of aspects of Wampanoag life, according to the historic contact Indian people and colonists in today's northeastern United States. A study published in the journal Quaternary Science Reviews estimated that disease had already reduced the New England indigenous population by 90% by 1620. The Wampanoag continued to die from what the colonists called Indian fever and an unknown disease brought by European settlers. What? Now we come to the real problem that I find in this article. They have been introducing diseases since the 1600s.
And like this is something that I
And
covered
then
like when I
hiding
was
it
in
behind
college.
a holiday.
Yeah, like when I was in college, we were talking about like if the Native Americans had like resistances to European diseases at the time,
It would have been a whole different situation.
Europe would never have been able to take over this country. Like,
Right. Because we always call it the home field advantage.
right.
We developed our advantage here by destroying the home field.
Right, and you can't tell me that a bunch of French dudes with muskets versus a legion of well-trained Apache warriors Like, those Frenchmen are gonna suck the fuck off as soon as they hear the woo-woos. Like,
So you're telling me right now that the Europeans brought over diseases and that helped them take over the North American continent?
Yes.
So my
Yeah.
So my question is this then: are those European settlers the actual fathers of chemical warfare and not Fritz Haber?
Yeah.
no, Fritz Haber was the father of intentional chemical warfare. They were the inventor. The French were the inventors of. Whoops.
Whoops. We didn't mean to. Give us a kiss again.
Right.
Am I still marrying your daughter?
No, I'm still reading this article, so hold on. By the time Massasoit's son met the comet, known to the English as King Philip, inherited leadership relations had frayed. His men were executed for the murders of the Punkapoag interpreter and Christian convert John Sassamon, sparkling King Philip's War. Wampanoag warriors responded with raids, and the New England Confederation of Colonies declared war in 1675. The war was bloody and devastating. In an article posted in Historical Journal of Massachusetts, the Montclair State University professor Robert E. Craig Jr. said the death toll could have been up to 30% of English population and half of the Native Americans in New England.
Not only did they get this guy, teach him to speak their language, and converted him out of his indigenous religion, and they still turned around and was like,
nah, you're an Indian. We're good.
Right.
The comet was beheaded and dismembered according to It Happened in Rhode Island, and colonists impaled its head on a spike and displayed it for 25 years.
What the fuck? That had to smell terrible.
This was just one of the serious and brutal but dimly remembered early conflicts between Native Americans, colonists, and New England. Now, Mr. Honest Abe enters here as the person who decided which story to tell when it came time to decide what Thanksgiving should be an American holiday.
I wonder what version of events he went with.
I think we know.
Let
But here
me
now,
just consult my turkey leg and cinnamon ham.
now I come to that. Exactly. Let me just talk to my food next Thursday. We'll come back and have that discussion. But Honest Abe, man, I think he was honestly just looking at his attempt at peace and was like, we need to just start burying this as fast as possible.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, even like at the beginning of the Civil War, like his intention was not to free the slaves. He just wanted to keep peace in the Union. His whole thing was like big picture stuff.
Right. And then, but then, there's a couple of presidents along the way.
I personally liked Andrew Jackson, but
oh, why? Because he's on the 20?
Kidding.
Like, putting heads on a stake. Like,
no, we're talking about indigenous people, and I just brought up Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, we're over here talking about presidents, and Brad's just like, his head on a fucking pike?
25 years.
What the fuck is he related to fucking Dracula? Like, what the hell?
And think about it. If that head was on a spike for 25 years, that means there are some individuals of that society who lived their lives longer with the head on the spike than with the head off the spike.
He lived longer with his head on the spike than he did with his head off the spike.
Right. When they finally took it down, there was probably some like 30-year-old dude who was like, "Oh, I took that down, huh? I wonder when that happened."
Now I'm going to join, or I'm pulling up Wikipedia here.
And when they had the first Thanksgiving, they asked the head, "What should we have for dinner?" I think I'm going crazy now.
That was the insider article I've been reading on this week. I just felt like if I was stuck with this information, so should the rest of them. And when I Googled Thanksgiving, I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's the shit I like. Yeah. And then it started talking about, what? They did who? Oh, no. No,
every damn thing to every damn body. Like,
right. Like y'all couldn't just come over here and be like, "Hey, scoot over. We need to move in." They were like, "Hey,
Nah.
this is ours now. Your
That's
consent
cool.
is not required.
Hey, by the way, we're gonna show you how to be one of us. Oh, you don't want to be one of us? That's okay. Bang."
Well, the other person that saw the bang was like, I want one of those.
Right.
Quick
So
question.
we're talking about America, right? The people who
Mhm.
came over here with guns, killed everybody who didn't have guns, was like, "Hey, we're gonna make our own country." What was the first thing they said? We can say whatever we want. What was the second they said? Because we
We
still
get
have
to
our
keep
guns.
our guns.
Because later on,
And welcome to
Russia,
America. Freedom.
then Africa was like, hey, the king of Africa was like, hey, you got guns. Yeah. Can we have those guns? Sure. But we want something in return. Oh, what would that be? We need workers. Oh, we got those. Everyone, get the prisoners.
Brad went
Yeah, and that's
there.
another thing. Like the first American slaves were Native Americans. The only reason we outsourced to Africa is because all of the natives died. Like,
Or got relocated.
right, or got relocated.
They're like, bitch,
Like
we're out.
everybody points to fucking like the cotton plantations as bad, and don't get me wrong, like they were fucking terrible. But the sugar plantations down in Cuba and Brazil, Jesus Christ. In college, we were shown this graphic of like mortality rates in between the two countries. Like, if you were a slave on a plantation, your life expectancy was about like 20 years. Okay, if you were in the sugar plantations, your life expectancy was like 5 years.
Oh, damn. Even worse.
Yeah. It was bad.
Yep. Greed, man. Fucking greed.
Well, hold on a minute though, because capitalism creates class and then allows us to decide what we want to be for ourselves.
But you know what class also creates? The French
Poverty.
Revolution. Why don't you go ask how well it worked out for them?
Not very well.
Wait,
How do we get from Thanksgiving to the French Revolution?
I don't know, but I just had a question here, just looking up while we're talking and whatnot. So, like I brought up Andrew Jackson earlier, right? You know, said that $20 bill. Yeah, by 2030, his face is not going to be on that $20 bill anymore.
Fuck him.
They're now going to replace his face with Harriet Tubman on $20 bills. Because if you don't know what he did in his lifetime, you should probably look up what he did in his lifetime. And
Trust me, I
probably look it up.
Are we really?
Because again, we're talking about Europeans being very mean to natives, and like let's talk about our own 7th president.
Let's discuss Mr. Jackson. Somebody Wikipedia Mr. Jackson there. Let's talk shit on a president who's been dead for 100 years.
7th president of U.S.
Don't worry, Tim will be haunted later, guys. Don't worry.
Was a
fuck him.
Born and bred Southerner, was extremely pro-slavery. Had over
born in the backwoods settlement in the Carolinas in 1766. He received sporadic education, but in his late teens he read law for about 2 years, and he became an outstanding young lawyer in Tennessee. Fiercely jealous of his honor, he engaged in brawls, and in a duel killed a man who cast an unjustified slur on his wife Rachel. Jackson prepared sufficiently to buy slaves and build a mansion, the Hermitage near Nashville. He was the first man elected from Tennessee to the House of Representatives, and he served briefly in the Senate. Major General in the War of 1812, Jackson became a national hero when he defeated the British at New Orleans. In 1824, some state politics factions rallied about Jackson. By 1828, enough had joined Old Hickory to win numerous state elections and control of the federal administration in Washington. This is only going to talk about his good shit because this is from the White House.
No, I mean, he owned, obviously, like I said, we reached for slavery. He owned over 200 slaves and was extreme. And like historically speaking, he said that he was extremely brutal. There was one escapee that ran, and we're just gonna name him Tom. And it is said that he put out a $10 extra bonus to to what per 100 lashes that his escapees got.
Hmm.
He wanted
So, like-
them extremely. Yeah.
So, like,
He
in
was a
the
conquest
article that you
paladin.
just read, the article that you just read, Clint, about Jackson, notice how it said he got slaves and then he built a mansion. No, he did not do a goddamn thing.
Yeah, that article's misleading. We know. We
Mhm.
know what happened there.
He got slaves and then the slaves built his mansion that they were abused in.
And everything else. Yeah, and he was
Taking the entire Capone Mafia to fucking Alcatraz Island, giving them picks, shovels, bricks, and mortar, and being like, all right, build it, bitches.
yeah. But the whole thing was he was fond of his ladies in the house too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, he
And
And,
was.
and you have to remember too, he was the actual mastermind of what is now known to be called the Trail of Tears.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was
his idea.
That
Yep,
was his
he
whole
was like,
thing.
"Hey, guess what? We're finally just gonna be like, yeah, we're too big now. Y'all gotta really move. We're gonna hold them at gunpoint and walk them out of here."
Wasn't
That
he
was
the one
his.
behind the Louisiana Purchase, too?
I think
That
not.
Jefferson.
Think so.
Who did the Louisiana Purchase?
Working on it.
They'll
I
show
want
you.
facts.
While you're doing that,
Who
all
is
yeah, because he did the removal act. Today's let's see.
Oh, no, Thomas
It's
Jefferson.
basically a fucking Native American Holocaust because that was literally the loss of about 30% of the native
Yeah.
population.
Yeah, but see,
during
that was
this.
that led up to him wanting to get at the Mississippi River, which would lead up to him being like, "Hey, France, I got the problem. Now give me the land."
Right. Like, even still, like, you look at where the Native Americans were settled on, it was just shit land that, like nothing was
He-
growing there.
He did not expect them to come and be like, "Well, we're going to turn this into a home." He thought they'd come out here and find this deserted piece of rock and be like, "Well, we're all just going to lay here until we die." Nope, that's not the native way, sir.
No.
Some became nomads,
Right.
followed the buffaloes, others found rivers. Hell, in Oklahoma, we dug lakes and built casinos. I mean,
I mean,
What-
honestly, well, think about it. Fuck, well, like that entire time of the Trail of Tears, we're literally gonna be like, all right, cool. This is where you guys are gonna live. Here you go. But then fucking before Oklahoma became a state, they were like, all right, cool. So we don't, how we gave the native tribes these lands. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore those guys, and then we're just gonna have a fucking fun run of a land run, and you just race to whatever you want to get to.
Have a fun run.
hell yeah, and if anybody gets in your way, remember those guns?
And why
that
the fuck are
talked
we so proud
in
about being
Season
cheaters?
2?
We're so proud about being called the Sooners. We're proud to be cheaters. I'm confused on that concept.
Nope, that's why me and you picked the Cowboys, sir.
Just in general,
Right,
we're
that's the
called-
reason
we're-
y'all picked the
Oklahoma's
Cowboys.
literally called the Sooner State. Like the state itself is proud of it. Doesn't matter
But
what
here's the
football
thing,
team you choose.
so not only are we proud to be the cheaters, but like I was having this conversation with my mom a few days ago. So you know how like Illinois state motto, land of Lincoln, and the California is the Golden State. Like all of these other states have just like these really cool state slogans. Oklahoma's ripped their slogan off of the dollar bill. Our slogan is just "In God We Trust." Let me copy your homework, but I'll change my name so the teacher doesn't know that I copied your homework.
Hey, this is the way it
Because
works.
we're so original. But I forgot. I'm in a different state now. I'm in the Sunflower State now,
To say, yeah,
and I like that.
about to say, you guys even have the Sunflower State. You can't even come up with the fucking
Hey.
slogan.
So when they named the college after those same group of people, they were so embarrassed they had to use boomer as part of the slogan. So it's boomer because they didn't want to forget the people who actually waited. Anyways, So
Also, like,
yeah,
the land run happening, like they thought Oklahoma was going to be a barren wasteland, and then the Native Americans cultivated it. The government was like, "Oh shit, we could use that now."
Yeah,
Kick them off again.
again. What what fucking equation has been keep happening? It's like
actually,
let them do
there's a
it,
very
and then
hold
now
on,
it's
guys.
we did it. You know,
Right.
it's that one guy showing up in the fucking group project when it's due and be like, "All right, guys, we did it, we did it."
history shows a big gap there though, because it was this side filled up all the way to these mountains, and they were like, "Oh, well, the middle belongs to those other people we took this from." But they're now saying that they found this valuable rock all the way on the other side. So hey, they'll be okay if we just follow the trail and just go through, right? No, because they remembered that they used to live on that side of the mountain, and every time those people came across in their wagons, well, it was go time on the Now, do you think if we had moved to the middle and left them alone, it would have been a different situation?
Yeah.
I think if
Yeah.
we just didn't fuck around in places that we had no business fucking around in the first place, it would have been a better situation.
What are you talking about? They were just manifesting their destiny. Now, who told
take
that
all the
bitch
land
that?
until there's. Oh God.
And this is what we're thankful for, guys. This is what we get together with our families every year, throw down food, and look at each other and go, "Oh, we're thankful. We're thankful for living in a." Never mind.
Big world.
Alright.
Oh,
There's
I
a
mean,
reason I'm an
and now,
anarchist.
yeah, that's it. That's what we're here to talk about. How someone along the way was just like, "Yeah, let's just forget about the hundreds of people who died in these events along the way. But we got a cool holiday now. We can have turkey and ham. Neat." And
I look at
then,
I look at all
oh,
them.
honest Abe, that's what really gets me. He just like he didn't lie technically. He just changed the narrative. He was just like, "Hey, yeah, that really bad thing. Oops. Let's talk about this other really cool thing that happened."
That part of the speech where he's just like, and we killed them all, but also, oh look, shiny.
Yeah, like, and a bunch of people died. End of nope, wait. Let's talk about the other story. Other story?
Right.
Yeah, the other story where we all sit down and had dinner together. Now, let me ask you
The
a
house
question.
burst up in flames, and y'all died in a burning house fire.
If you were the tribe that lived one state over, and you had just heard that the people who looked like them had just slaughtered everybody that looked like you, wouldn't you have went and tried to make peace too?
Would have went and
No.
tried to make pieces.
Exactly. Put it all in one place and all in one piece.
Manifest this destiny, motherfucker, and hatch it.
And that would have been a different situation. We would have been a darker complexion. Man, just wait until I do Christmas. Oh, because I've read the same articles for Christmas, and y'all are not gonna like that one. Christmas is even worse.
Easter's really fucked up.
Well, this one was more like, oh crap, we may have done some really bad things. We're not gonna talk about that. So let's make a celebration and discuss not the bad stuff, but let's talk about something good. And over
like-
time, they slowly moved it away from the massacre that happened in the same time frame.
Christmas is about the winter solstice. That is what it started out as. Is why
Actually, the first
celebrated.
celebrations of Christmas. Okay, well, you know what? We'll just save that for that episode because I got you, buddy. Because that's one of my favorite.
Because that's
ruined
my pagan
everything
heritage
ever.
right there, boy. That's my
Yeah.
Mystic brothers.
But now you're talking. Now we're talking that subject of the church coming along and going, hey, whoa, hold on. That thing you're doing? No, 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 no. Y'all can't do that anymore. And the pagans went, why the fuck not? And the church went, hold on, we'll think about it for 2 seconds. Oh, wait. Our Savior was born today. So whatever you do, you have to give it to him. And they were like,
yeah, the pagans were like, bullshit, show me the birth certificate.
actually, no, most of them were like, okay, cool. So they were like, now we're going to party in the name of Jesus, and kept beating each other up.
And the Catholics would just go, no, that's not the point.
I mean, that's why they slowly had to start taking stuff from other religions and heritages by, like when you
under
hear,
a different name.
well, yeah, no, I mean, they didn't even change the name. Yule log comes from the Norse
Yule,
pagan
yeah.
Yule of, and then the tree is of another heritage where they decorate. Like I said, I'll pull up all my information. That's one of my favorite Adam Ruins.
You can host that episode too.
Yeah, that's from Adam Ruins Everything. But I've done some more research on. Like I give him full credit for that one. That one is definitely one of his best episodes. But yeah, it really started out as a drunken booze fest full of debauchery and violence, and it didn't get any better.
No, I mean, look at Christmas today. What are people doing?
We're getting
until
drunk
they're
and
fat,
handing out
getting drunk
bread.
and heading for violence.
And then the thing is, like, oh, dude, like, I could just sit here and go through it right now, but that's for Christmas. So
Right.
oh,
That's
Thanksgiving.
the little taste. That's a little sneak peek at the presents under the tree.
There you go. But anyway, knowing that we have covered up such violence, I do want to say that I hope everybody does have a good time with their family this Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
And
for
I hope
sure.
that we can all find something to truly be thankful for in light of the holidays.
And be thankful. And if you guys don't find a Christmas gift under your tree, make sure it doesn't have the ticking going on.
Yes, that would be bad.
If you hear a ticking, throw that bitch out the window, quick.
Actually, nowadays most bombs vibrate. It's either if you get a package and it's vibrating, it's either a bomb or about to be a very awkward situation.
Mom, what's this? How do you?
Oh, I'm going to Walmart to buy y'all all a Christmas present.
You better not
Yeah,
vibrate, you dick.
I want to be on this video chat when y'all open them.
I don't know why, but my brain went so much darker when y'all were talking about that. Like, oh, okay, cool. So we're sending each other fucking anthrax pills. Envelope. Cool. Guess that's what we're doing
anthrax
now.
pills from vibrating.
Not vibrating. You just said ticking, and I'm like, what else is dangerous that comes in the mail? That's dangerous that comes in the mail.
Anthrax. I remember back in the 90s, man. We were always talking about how everything we opened, it's got powder in it. Must be anthrax.
I mean, it was a thing. It was a legitimate thing. It wasn't as widely sent out as what most people think, but
now you got me. You got my in between subject.
Spray bottle that says "bitch" on it. Oh.
Oh my god, that would be a form of fucking like terrorism. Putting powdered anthrax in a water bottle that says "bitch be gone" and shaking it up.
Motherfuckers going around, fucking committing war crimes that has got in fucking local Walmart. Like in Geneva Convention, new phone, who dis?
No, that's gonna be
that's what Hitler said after the first after the first UN meeting when they were like, okay, we're not going to take over the world anymore. Saw Germany trying to take over the world, and they were like, hey, stop. He was like, no phone, who dis?